This video is sponsored by LingoPie. Oh hey, I'm Nicola Foti, you're watching Soundly Awake. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here, thanks for coming back. So today I want to talk about something I've been doing for the past couple months. I feel like every quarter of the year, like I completely changed what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I don't know. Because part of me is like, well, this is good. You're just changing things up and keeping things fresh so you don't get bored. And then the other part of me is like, wow, can you concentrate on one thing at a time? The answer is no. So this video is going to be all about Italian, as you could see from the title. And we're going to start in the very beginning. According to 23andMe, I'm 60-something% Italian, even though my dad is the only Italian one. My mom has no Italian in her, but I guess I got a lot of my genes from my dad. Is that how that works? Genealogy YouTube, please let me know. My grandparents moved to the US, to New Jersey, when my dad was like a year old or something like that. Maybe 2 years old? I forget the math, but a baby, essentially.
You know how long I'm here? 55 years.
And my grandma at the time was like 19. So culturally speaking, the two sides of my family were kind of different. And my dad's side of the family is a lot bigger than my mom's side of the family. So growing up with my brother and all of my aunts and uncles and my cousins, we had a ton of Italian traditions. We had, of course, a ton of Italian food and all of the words that go with that. So I had this like base knowledge of the Italian language just since I was born.
This is the Italian picnic.
Yep.
It's Italian work.
Lots of people and lots of food.
Lots of food. A big heart.
Yep.
That's the way to keep the family together.
Yep.
Lots of friends. We love them.
But because I lived with my mom's parents who didn't speak Italian.
So what kind of videos you doing lately?
This kind.
Are we going to show it now?
He's
Yeah.
been putting me on a video all this time.
No, just now.
Just now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I didn't end up learning anything past like a few words and phrases. And because my understanding of how to learn a language was so wrong back in the day, it never occurred to me that I could just learn it on my own. And now, of course, that's way easier to do with the internet. When it came to going to high school and I had to choose a language to learn, we only had the option of Spanish or French. And I said this a million times, I was super excited to start this because I just had always been interested in languages. And the first day of Spanish class, I just remember thinking like, I never want to leave this place. If my high school had offered Italian, I probably would have taken that. It's very possible that I could be fluent by now, but let's not talk about what could have been. So okay.
Don't mean much for me.
I'm very happy that I took Spanish in high school because I also loved the Spanish language. That said, I thought at the time that to learn a language, you either had to like just be born knowing it, I don't know, or you had to take classes to learn it. And so I was thinking, well, I can't really learn Italian. I'm gonna learn Spanish. You know, I took Spanish for 4 years, went to college, and then as soon as I had the opportunity to do so, I started taking Italian. This is for a couple reasons. One being that Spanish got hard. I've said this before too, but I promised one of my Spanish teachers in high school, because he told me, promise me you will continue learning Spanish, because I was good at it, because I had gotten so far, and like he wanted me to continue because he knew older people know things that you just don't understand when you're younger, and you won't understand until you realize that they knew things that you should have, you know what I mean? And so I didn't. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. But it was hard, and I don't want to do hard things, you know? You know what I mean? So that's reason one why I picked Italian. Reason two being my own cultural identity and my own family language. And it surprised me when I wasn't fluent in Italian after 2 years.
What I could say in English.
I don't know if it's because, you know, classes have to follow a curriculum, or instead of going at your own pace, you have to go at the pace of the whole class. And this is gonna sound dumb, but it just never occurred to me that I could study outside of class. And I think that's because I thought the class would be enough. Like, okay, I'm in the class, I do my homework, that's done, I studied. But since I've been learning languages by myself, I've just discovered different things that work for me that just would not have happened in a class setting. And one of those things is watching content in my target language. And there are a lot of things that exist today and a lot of things that I've learned about learning that I just didn't have in my tool belt at the time. You know what I mean? Just all of the content in a million different languages that's available at the touch of a button. Okay, maybe a couple buttons because you gotta type to search, you know what I mean. Streaming services, YouTube, and the sponsor of the video today, LingoPie. When I found out about LingoPie through one of Lindy Bodas' videos recently, I was immediately enamored. And I will tell you why. Because they have so much content from countries all over the world in the language that you're trying to learn. So if you're learning Spanish, they have Spanish shows, as in from Spain. They have Colombian shows. They have Mexican shows. They have shows from Argentina. These shows come with 2 sets of subtitles, one in the original language and the translations. And the words are clickable. So if there's a word that you don't recognize, you can click on it and it will save it to a list that you can then review later. It's amazing. When you're done watching the episode and you want to review the words that you've learned, when you go to your list, you have a stack of cards there waiting for you. You click on it and it plays the word in the context from the show. Are we kidding? We're not kidding. This is real. It helps with comprehensible input because you're watching something happen in your target language with the translation right there, with the ability to click and save a word you don't know, review those words as many times as you want, and literally just entertain yourself with engaging content. Right now they have Spanish, French, Russian, Portuguese, German, and Italian, and they plan on adding more languages in the future. So please check out the link in the description box. Seriously, check it out. You get a free trial to see if you like it. I'm pretty confident that you will. It's amazing. Also, I really like their interface. Like, it's really crisp and clean and intuitive. It's aesthetically pleasing. I like their branding. Not that these things help you necessarily with the language learning aspect, but it is pretty nice to have. I've been watching a lot of food and travel content on there, and I can't wait to go somewhere and eat. Okay, next thing. Having a lot of knowledge in Spanish now, that's also helping me a lot with my Italian. There are some false cognates, false friends that get a little confusing. And the fact that avocado doesn't mean avocado in Italian really weighs heavy on my heart. But besides that, it's kind of like I have a bunch of free words already in there, or at least formulas to create new words. For example, if something is interesting, in Spanish, it's interesante. If something is interesting in Italian, it's interesante. If you're interested in Spanish, you're interesado. If you're interested in Italian, you're interessato. There are some things that are taking me a little time to get used to.
Particolareggissimamente.
Particolareggiazione.
Particolareggiatissimo.
Do people actually use that word or
No.
But I'm super excited that I am making progress in Italian. And I can't, okay, hold on, let's try this. Non posso parlare molto in italiano, ma sto migliorando ogni giorno. ¿Sí? Migliorando. Porque en español es mejorando. Dios mío. Mamma mia. Yeah, that's one of the things I do. Sometimes when I'm looking for an Italian word, the Spanish one comes first, and then I kind of speak Español. Italianol. But also, it was funny, I was FaceTiming with my grandma a couple weeks ago. I told her that I was learning Italian. She asked me, I don't remember what she asked me now. She asked me a question. I was like, I don't know. I'm not there yet. And my dad, in effect, was like, are you sure you're learning? And I said something about being hungry. I was like, ho fame e mangio presto. It worked. We did it. But I can't wait to keep learning and actually be able to put together longer sentences and understand more. And this is my favorite part of learning, just learning, period, anything, is when you realize you have more knowledge on a subject now than you did before. And I guess that's what learning is, you know, adding knowledge to your brain. Like that's like the definition of learning. But you know what I mean. Like I can't wait for the day where I can be FaceTiming with my grandma and have just a full conversation in probably broken Italian. But like that first conversation, with as many mistakes that I may have at that moment, I know how good it feels to be able to have a conversation in Spanish and to be able to have a conversation in Italian with my grandma is like tenfold. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe the next time I'm back in New Jersey, I'll get my grandma in a video for something. I don't know. We'll see. I would love for it to happen. She's been in some before, as you've seen from clips in this video, from old vlogs and old videos and stuff. And my grandpa, who passed away, wow, 2 years ago now. I'm glad I have a bunch of videos of him too. But I just, it's really exciting. I'm really happy. I feel like almost like giddy about it. Which is like, I guess, a sign to me that like this was a good choice, you know what I mean? But that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions, like if you were thinking, hey, I wonder ... question mark at any point during this video, leave it in the comments below and I will try to answer it. Or if you know Spanish and Italian and you want to talk about some similarities or differences or surprises that you may have encountered along the way, just pretty much anything you can think of, leave it in the comments below, you know what I mean? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everyone on Patreon for supporting videos like this. If you want to check it out, it's patreon.com/soundlyawake. We got early and extra videos over there. Wow, I'm really assigning you so much homework in the comments today. I apologize. This is all optional homework, okay? We're fine. Actually, no, your main homework though is to click the link to LingoPie. If you're learning language, it is shocking how useful it is to have both sets of captions right there and to have the ability to click on it and save it to a word that you can review later. Save it to a list, not save it to a word. Save the word to a list. It's one of those things that I wish existed when I first discovered that I loved learning languages. You know? But yeah, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Okay, bye.
I wonder when I'm gone. I'm sure when the coming stage you'll remember your grandma.
That's right. Because there won't be this much food.
There won't be anything at all.